Sean.
Oh God, how many times are you going to say that today?
I'm trying to get rich.
I just, yeah.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Trevor Sweat. All right. So you want me to talk fast? Okay, we
No.
the ultra human experience.
Nice.
All right, you like that? Right, catchy, right? So it's a lot of this is going to be about us, the staffers, all right, and what we need to do. So first thing is something you are. Okay, so what characteristics, what traits will make up a good staffer? So what traits or behaviors do you, for those of you that have done this before, what behaviors make up a good staffer?
Courtesy.
Okay, courtesy.
Outgoing.
Okay.
Proactive.
High energy. Focus.
Okay, high energy.
A fast writer.
Penmanship.
So with high energy, so some of the things, we'll stick with high energy.
Perfect.
Right, so for high energy, what things make up? I'll change that. From now on, I'm gonna list 4 different factors, and then I'll ask you questions about those. All right. So the first one being having high energy, maintaining high energy. So what are the things that are going to allow us to do that in the hub throughout the week?
Caffeine.
Okay. Caffeine.
Sleep.
Okay. Good sleep.
Sleep.
Okay.
Good food.
Okay. Well, what are the things? What are the characteristics? What are the traits? Your behaviors. Okay, that make up energy.
Movement.
Okay.
Constant activity. Stay on
Okay.
the move.
Okay. On the move.
Yeah, definitely no
Focus.
leaning.
No leaning.
Focus.
Keep engaging with people.
Okay. How about excitement, enthusiasm?
Big
Okay.
eye contact.
Nah.
Okay. Eye contact. Okay. What else? What about the product itself? Okay. What about?
Use it. Yeah.
Okay. Use it. Okay. Engage the individuals. Okay. The visitors that come to the booth. Okay. So you want to create a buzz. Okay. You want to create a wow factor and excitement. Okay. Using the brand. Okay. Or the product itself. Okay, so those are the things that are going to make up high energy, all right? Being able to go ahead and have that enthusiasm and the energy, or the excitement. All right, so those are things that are going to create high energy inside the booth, inside the hub. How about friendliness? So what would make up friendliness? Some of the things overlap. Some of the stuff we already spoke about. So okay, smiling, right, very important.
Body language.
Right.
Asking questions, taking interest.
Okay, taking interest in people. Okay. Eye contact, looking at somebody, engaging the visitors. All right. How about being personable? Okay. What things would come to mind when you think about being personable?
Using someone's name.
Okay. No spitting. What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? Right? We're joking around, right? We're getting Keith all edgy, right? Okay, we're having fun. Okay, we're having fun. We're engaging each other. We're communicating with one another. Okay? So that's going to be, being part of personal. So when a visitor comes up and saying, hey, how are you? Welcome to Experience Insight. Oh my God.
Hi.
You're going to engage that person. Okay. What's your ask them a name? Okay. So
I'm Sean.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Insight. Okay. What's your name?
I'm Sean.
Sean. So you use his name. As you're interacting with the individual throughout your presentation, throughout the time that you're with them. All right. So you want to be able to go ahead and we spoke before about the transition. So you want to be able to go ahead and ask open-ended questions. You want to, what would be an example of an open-ended question?
What kind of technology do you use?
Okay, what type of technology you use, because then it leads to, hey, I'm using a laptop right now, or I'm using a tablet. So it's going to engage the visitor in conversation. So you're able to go ahead and do that. What does it mean to be approachable? What comes to mind when you think about being approachable?
Open posture.
Okay, open posture. What does that mean?
Not arms folded, not leaning on
Okay,
something.
so not standing, closed-ended.
Not back to somebody.
You want to be inviting. Okay, you want people to be able to go ahead and approach you. You also want to be when you want to be approachable, you want to be aware of your surroundings. okay? You want to be aware of the slow times, the busy times. You want to be aware of what's going on around you, all right? When you're by the clinic counter and it's extremely busy and you want to show somebody a specific Ultrabook as opposed to another one, you're going to call out Trent's name or Bob's name, and you're going to be able to go ahead and have them transition, or either transition that individual, okay, again, using their names. Trent, this is Bob. This is Sean. He's looking for, to take a look at the Lenovo, okay, something of that nature. All right, or just grabbing, knowing where the specific products are at the clinic counter, and then being able to go ahead and give that particular product to the visitor, whatever it happens to be. All right, so being aware of what's inside the booth, being aware of the energy level and how busy the actual booth is at the time. And then how about limiting distractions, okay, or what would be examples of some distractions that may bring on bad behavior, okay? Okay.
Gary making us laugh too much.
Okay, Gary spitting, right? Okay. Jamie, go ahead, hold it up. This is probably the number one cause right there. All right, your cell phone, your smartphone, okay? Checking your email, all that stuff is done in the back during a break, okay? At an appropriate time. Using the games at the interactive stations and things of that nature, playing with that stuff, or you want to keep that to a minimum, all right? Or, you want to be able to go ahead and fix the game, whatever it happens to be. But again, being aware of your surroundings, limiting the distractions, and being able to go ahead and move on. All right, so that's something that what we are as staffers, staffing the booth, okay, and allowing for the individual visitor to have a great experience at Experience Intel. All right, so now something you see. All right, so in this particular case, we want to be able to go ahead and
Can I help?
we changed the labels so many times that I've forgotten which something you see is.
When they're looking inside and outside the booth, right?
Okay, so right, so as a visitor comes in approaches the booth from the outside, or the hub from the outside, what do we want them to be able to see? What are they going to observe? Okay, so what are the observations?
Excitement.
Okay, excitement. Okay, so a lot of the things that we saw before, okay, we talked about before. So, right?
And fun.
Okay, fun. Okay, engagement, which is, so this stuff right here is going to be activity. Right, there's a lot of buzz going on in the booth. Right, we want that buzz factor, that wow factor. Right. What about, and again, this is something where when we're doing this in training, we're going to show a video of us in the booth here at the New York show, or at the Chicago show, and at the New York show. And then we're going to ask all of the new staffers that we're training to go ahead and give 3 descriptive words that, as far as what they describe, they see the activity going on in the booth. And then from there, we'll fill in the blanks. Okay, so we'll collect everything, and then we'll go ahead and we'll make a list up, and then we'll discuss it, right, and fill in anything. So the other stuff that we have is the flow of the visitor. We want to make sure that we transition, or that we begin the process of placing an Ultrabook in somebody's hand immediately and letting them touch and feel, see the responsiveness, get that reaction as far as what, them actually being able to go ahead and engage it, and then take them through the booth, through the interactives, Experience Intel, bring them inside. And then the important thing of transitioning them to the specific location, and then getting them to the very end, so that, again, they get surveyed, right, so that we understand what their experience was, and then, of course, we collect their data as far as, they can, again, evaluate what type of experience they had when they were inside the stars. So, we want them to give them a feeling of inclusion, like everyone is welcome, right? We want a positive ambience, again, creating that buzz, all right? So we'll review and reinforce, right? So we'll collect the data from them, we'll show them, we'll collect the data, we'll review it, and then we'll reinforce all the importance of all those different features, right? So that's something you see. And then what they take away when, so what do they feel, or how do they feel when they leave the booth? So, so how do what are the expectations of, what are our expectations of the visitor when they leave our booth? How do we want them to feel? What do you think? What would be some of the?
We would want them to tell us back what was most important to them, or what they felt was cool.
All right, so we want to hear feedback from them, right? So we want to try and understand exactly.
Get them to say it.
Okay. Feedback about their experience.
That it was a good investment of their time.
Okay. Investment of their time. Very good.
Well, people make they felt like they were attended to, or they got attention.
Excellent. Okay, so that's right. So that they felt like they had that attention factor, and that they were important, and that it was important that their understanding about the reinvention of the Ultrabook, and that they were cared for and looked after, and that they left there having a better understanding about what Ultrabooks are about the entire reinvention. Okay, and probably the most important thing is the feeling of wanting to come back, right? Of being able to go ahead and recommend it to their friends. And of course, with that feeling of wanting to come back, wanting to, experience Intel inside, and then being able to go ahead and ultimately make some kind of purchase, right? Be able to, say, hey, you know what? This is something that I want. I want to be able to go ahead and utilize that. Okay. Now, the other aspect of what we want is the interactive experience. So as we go through the entire hub, we're going to have different types of interactive experiences that the visitors are going to be able to use and see, right? So the first one, or the things that are important as far as how are we going to measure the experience that the visitors have. So we've called it something we measure, all right? So we want to be able to go ahead and determine the visitor satisfaction. So if the visitor, how are we going to determine the visitor satisfaction? So in what ways can we do that? And it's kind of related to what we just discussed, but. Okay, what's that? Okay, ask them what they enjoyed most. So we're going to ask them questions, okay? We're going to go ahead and ask them questions such as, what did you enjoy the most? What was, the experience or the interactive portion that you felt gave you, the best experience while you were visiting the booth, okay? And so by doing that, by allowing them, by, us asking questions, they're going to engage back and forth. So how are we going to determine whether or not they were actually engaged and that they did have a true good experience?
The sense of urgency to buy.
Okay, the sense of urgency to buy. How else?
Well, asking you questions back on where they can go find these tablets or where they could find out more information.
Okay, so again, going back to that communication. Okay, so it becomes, again, not just that we ask questions, but they go ahead and engage us back, so that there's a two-way street of us being able to go ahead and interact with them. And of course, being able to go ahead and what we're trying to do is to determine whether or not they had a great experience inside of the Intel Hub. All right, so we need to enhance the experience. And so some of the responsibilities that we have as staffers, okay, so it's something that we need to do, right? So we're gonna want to ask questions for them, and then determine what type of questions they've asked, so that we can determine what type of participation and the interaction they've done inside of each one of the different hubs, whether it be playing one of the games with the gliders or taking a look at each one of the Ultrabooks at the Clinique counter. We want to be able to go ahead and enhance the experience and guide the visitor through the transition to other staffers, all right? And we're going to give them a handheld tour. So it's a hands-on. Again, getting the Ultrabook into their hands so that they actually are able to go ahead and utilize the full experience of the experience inside. So we want to be able to go ahead and get them to actually go ahead and engage with each one of the Ultrabooks. All right, and so the other important thing is what Intel expects from us. Okay, what we're supposed to do in each individual city, whether it be in London or whether it be in Tokyo or here in Chicago. So we're expected to understand the audience population, okay? We're going to understand the culture in which we're working in, whether it's in the blues festival, okay, or whether we're working in another culture such as in Tokyo. So we're going to have to, do some understanding as far as the audience population, okay? Ultimately, though, we are going to need to stick to the game plan, right? We're going to come back and we're going to, be able to go ahead and get the Ultrabook inside of, or to somebody in each hand, right? So that we have that touch, we have that, the convertibility and the responsiveness, right? So getting the branding message out and eliminate any reservations of using the Ultrabook, making this event cool and exciting, and that's what Intel expects from us. All right, that this is the thing that we've reinvented, and Intel has reinvented the Ultrabook, and that people want to be able to go out and get them and purchase it, right? So brand recognition, okay? Brand recognition, brand loyalty, all right? That's it. Thank you. Any questions? We covered everything so well, nobody else has any questions. All right, so there we have basically being able to go ahead and experience Intel, being able to go ahead and engage the visitors, and then be able to measure exactly what type of experience they have.
Ultra human.